Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and I just got another issue of the LEGO Ninjago Magazine. This month's issue comes with a Storm Suit Arin minifigure, so it's the Arin minifigure from January of this year. He's got like the dark Arin torso and legs, but it's before he had the full dark hood, so instead he has this weird like golden orange hood instead. And then this magazine also comes with a bonus minifigure. If you guys don't know how the bonus minifigures work, basically it's a way for the magazine company to get rid of extra stock. So if they have leftover minifigures from a previous magazine, they include them in future issues like this one. Because it is extra stock though, it's random which bonus minifigure you're gonna get if you get this magazine. So in my case, I got Dragon's Rising Zane, but if you guys go get this magazine for yourself, you may get the same minifigure or you may get a different one. And which minifigure you get can depend on what retailer you buy it from and just like what they had available. But yeah, Dragon's Rising Zane I think is an okay minifigure to get. Definitely not the most exciting, but not terrible either. It's a figure that I'm pretty sure is retired at this point, so that makes it somewhat interesting. It's 2 years old at this point. And it's a somewhat rarer figure. He came in a $35 set, so that wasn't too difficult to get. But he did only come in 2 sets total, so I don't mind having another way to get that guy. Definitely makes this overall magazine a bit more interesting, because I'm not super excited for the Arin minifigure. But anyway, I'll talk about all of that more at the end of this video. For now, let me get these removed from the magazine so we can take a full look at the cover. Oh, it opened up while I was taking it off. Whoops. Zane came off a lot easier. So with those removed, here's a full look at the magazine cover. It says, wow, 2 LEGO toys, Arin and grappling hook, plus bonus minifigure. Ninjago Dragon's Rising. We have a LEGO toy with a cool grappling hook, Arin. Beware of the Dragon Storm. There's an exciting 12-page comic as always, some totally epic posters, and Ninja in Danger. It's time for heroes. So let's open this up and see what's in store. On the first page here, we have an advertisement for the LEGO Batman magazine. I think that's new. Interesting to see them doing that in the Ninjago magazine. And then here with the table of contents, they are continuing the villain of the month. And this month's villain is the Mechanic. As a professional crook, the Mechanic has worked for many a notorious villain. After the merge, however, he had to go freelance. Since then, he has been wreaking havoc in Ninjago City with ingenious inventions for crooks. We've seen him once since the merge, right? He was in the intro to Dragon's Rising Season 2, and then we haven't seen him since. I really like the Mechanic all the way up until Crystallized. I feel like they kind of killed his character in Crystallized, but I wouldn't be against seeing him again in the show. I feel like it's been a little bit now that they could do it again. We also have the Meanometer, where you can rank how mean the Mechanic is, and it's encouraging you to build your own jail cell that he can never escape from. Let's turn the next page, and this is the bio page on the minifigure Arin. Oh, and this is cool. It's specifically talking about Arin as Ras's student. Ras's new student. Lord Ras has won over many people to his cause, including Empress Beatrix, Jordana, and most recently Jay and Frack. Now Arin is also following the teachings of the evil archvillain, but why is that? Last hope. Arin is frustrated. No ninja can teach him how to use Spinjitzu properly. No ninja believes him when he says Master Wu caused the merge. No ninja knows where his parents are, but Ras does. He is Arin's last hope. Vanished. Stranded in the first realm, Arin must now take care of his injured master. Here's a little game called Take a Spin. Oh, that's cool. It's kind of like a Minesweeper type game. You have to figure out where all the different targets are, and the Darker Stones show you how many targets are directly next to them. That's actually really neat. Of course, we have the instructions for the minifigure and his accessory as well. Turning the page again, we have Follow the Crumble. You have to figure out which of these realms appears in the pieces of the cake the most. We also have a render of Frack right here. I believe this is our first time seeing that. It's kind of interesting because it's in the style of the minifigure renders that the magazine typically does. Like, it's in the same style as this Lloyd and this Sora, but that head is very clearly not designed to be an actual minifigure head. Like, that is designed to look like the show. So it's like a weird mixture of styles I've not seen the magazine do before. A bit of a shame because that does confirm this is not teasing a future minifigure or anything. They don't have, like, a minifigure Frack head designed. Otherwise, they definitely would have used that here. But yeah, that is very clearly from the show. I do not see any way they can make this head physically. Then here we have Follow the Scent Trail. Oh, and this is Dominoes. It's literally just a game of dominoes. I think it's cool how all the games are actually themed around finding Arin. It really fits with the minifigure in this magazine. Next up, we have Up, Down, Up, Down. What's this, like Chutes and Ladders? Follow the paths and turn off at every fork. Which one leads you to the monastery? Okay. And then this is like the coloring page, but this time around it's for Rogue. It's a little funny because they didn't actually turn him into a coloring page, they just grayscaled a picture of him. So I don't know how well coloring would actually work. I feel like if you used crayons and tried to color that in, it would just cover up the original picture. But I guess the idea is more you're drawing on top of this image? I don't know, very weird, because they always have these coloring pages in the magazines. I've never seen them do something like this, though. Anyway, let's turn the page once again, and now we are at the comic. So as always with the comic, I'm not going to read the entire thing to you guys, but feel free to pause the video and read it for yourself. And if I notice anything anything especially funny or interesting, I will stop and point it out. Okay, so this comic does seem to take place during Season 3. That's pretty exciting. I don't think we've had any of those yet. I could be misremembering, but I don't think the last one took place during Season 3. I think it was like right before. So it's cool to see that we're finally in that era. And it's following Lord Ras and Arin during some of their training. Which, while we did see a good bit of that in the show, I'm excited to possibly see more. So let's go through it. Okay, so they're just adventuring. Ras is trying to teach Arin how to do spinjitzu. Nothing too big yet. Let's see what's next. Okay, so Arin spinjitzus into a hole, and then Lord Ras laughs at him, which is very funny. And that makes him so mad that he's able to spinjitzu out of the hole. But Ras is still hurt, so Arin is off to try to find something to help him. And then here, ooh, okay, who are these? We have new characters appearing. Interesting, so we have this, like, tribe of new characters we've never seen before, and they look like Dragonians, but the colors are completely wrong. They have sand green bodies and then red hair. So I guess this implies that there might be different factions of Dragonians that have different colors just like actual dragons. And the ones that we see in the show and that we get in the sets are only the dark red ones. But no, there is apparently sand green ones as well. I wonder how canon that is, because these comics are not written by the writers of the show. But I kind of like that as an idea, so it would be cool if that was canon. Anyway, Arin's taking these flowers that are apparently important to them, and then he steals their car and drives away. But that is the break in the comic. In the meantime, we have Help is Near. Okay, this is literally like a Pokemon Team Rocket-based puzzle type thing. You gotta get from start to finish and follow all the arrows. That's fun. Then in the center right here, we have the posters. The first poster is one for Noct, and it just says Noct, the Nightmare of the Ninja. It uses Noct's Season 2 design because he gets the cape instead of the armor, and he's got the red shatter spin eyes. And I think this looks really cool, honestly. The red background contrasts really well with the black and blue color scheme. And it's a very simplistic poster, too. They're not, like, overdoing it. The caption here I think is fine. Usually I'm not a fan of these, but it's small enough and it's not too silly of a quote. I think the Nightmare of the Ninja works fine. And then it's got the Dragon's Rising logo in the corner. I think this is a good one. It's very well done. And then the other side, ooh, what is this? That's really interesting. I don't think I've seen this art in this style before. But we have a few of the ninja in their storm suits. Can I even tell who's who? That's Sora, obviously. I'm pretty sure that's Zane, yeah, because he has the ice bow from the magazine. And I think this is Cole? Oh, actually, he's got his tournament suit on, just the newer hood. That's weird. I wonder if that's going to be a future magazine promo, like the mixing and matching of that torso and hood. Very interesting. But yeah, this is an awesome, very stylized poster. The black and white effect here is awesome. I really love the use of Ninjago. I would like to see more of the posters do that. I didn't pull up the translator, but I'm pretty sure this just says Ninja Go Go Go. And tons of super cool elemental effects as well. Like Sora's got this aura coming off of her, Zane's got these ice shards shooting out of his bow, and Cole has all these little rock elements too. The yellow in the background's the perfect splash of color as well. Yeah, this looks great. I'm very impressed by this. The posters have been quite good recently, and these two are no exception. This is a very classic Ninjago Magazine poster, but it's done quite well. And then this one looks great, but feels incredibly fresh and new. But now we are back to the magazine, and we have Get in Formation. And this is like a Sudoku-style puzzle, but it's with bugs, and there's only 2 colors. You can read the rules right there, but it's somewhat unique. Then we have the Land of Jay's Things. And Cole saying his iconic line, "Boy, do I miss my old buddy." Searching for Jay in the Land of Lost Things, Cole stumbles across old tournament kits. Can he find his old buddy's gear in them? Sort through the pieces and cross out anything that doesn't belong to Jay. And it looks like it's Jay parts, Nia parts, and Zane parts, as well as some Wolfmask Warrior parts, and you gotta find specifically the Jay ones. Let's turn the page again, and now we are back to the comic. Uh-oh, Arin has been launched from the buggy. He's flying through the air. Oh, but he puts the hood on, which never appeared in the show, but this gives it a spot in the story, even though these comics aren't canon. And he uses the grappling hook accessory from the polybag. That's actually kind of fun. I don't know if I've seen them do that before in the comics, actually including the weapon that you get physically in the comic. But I'd like to see that more. That's really cool. Alright, and Arin gets away with the grappling hook. Arin does confirm those are Dragonians right here, which I assume based off their designs, but it's explicitly stated right here. And yeah, Arin gets away, and he sets a trap for them, they all fall in a hole, and then he and Ras are able to get away. That's interesting. I like this comic overall. I like that they put the mask in it. That's very fun. Definitely not the best we've ever seen, but I feel like it adds more context to the show. You don't need it, but it's a compelling story, and it doesn't feel out of place in canon. So that's all I can really ask for from these comics. And then that's the end of the comic, but it's not the end of the magazine, because first we have a huge threat! And this is basically just a bio page on Thunderfang. I'm gonna read through it real quickly. Again, feel free to pause, zoom in, and read for yourself. I don't think there's anything like too new in terms of information here. Oh, this is funny. It's a little quiz to figure out which Forbidden 5 member you would be. Back when I was a kid, LEGO.com used to have a bunch of this kind of stuff that you could do, and I remember doing like, what rock monster are you, for LEGO Power Miners, because that was my favorite theme as a kid. Obviously, this is a physical piece of media that was digital, but it's a very similar concept, so it makes me happy to see that, like, kids getting into LEGO today will be doing very similar things. Because I remember thinking that that rock monster quiz was, like, the best thing ever. So it makes me happy to think that kids today could get this magazine and be like, yes! It says that I'm Zarked! Anyway, yeah, in terms of the info, nothing too interesting here. It says he has electric powers, which I don't think is true. I think a lot of the times the animators just use lightning because it looks cool for bad guys, but I don't think it's specifically electric powers. Though I guess he does create storms, so maybe it is electric powers, I don't know. Let's turn to the next page. Here we have Holy Headwind, and this is the advertisement for the Kai Jetmech set. There is little games included with it now, which is nice that it's not just an advertisement, but yeah, the main point is to sell this set. It gives you all the info on the set, so I don't have much to add there. Then we have I Want to Play. What? Okay, this is kind of cool. It says, Wildfire's playing a video game, and these are the characters she has to pick. And it's a little funny, because we have, like, Lasha here with armor on, a Dragonian tourist, a Gekkel in a hoodie. But then we also have this guy, who has Cyrus Borg's torso and Twitchy Tim's head and, like, Drix's armor. This is a Ninjoid with, like, Master of the Mountain armor. This is a character with a Lego City torso and leg piece, and then Harumi's hair. And then each of these characters has a special ability, and then you can use those to do this little dice rolling game. That's another one that's very fun. I like how these link together. And then after that, we come to the advertisement for next month's magazine, which is going to come with a, Storm Suit Kai? Though that's not the name of this minifigure. Dragon Spinjitzu Kai, I think, is what I would call that minifigure. It's the Storm Suit Kai, but with the golden hood instead of the dark red one. And then he comes with one of these little golden dragons as an accessory. That's another one that I don't find super exciting. It's another gimmick suit, and we already have one this magazine, and this guy does come in a $10 set. But of course, Kai's a very popular character, so it's good to have him a little more accessible. I wish it was the main Season 3 Kai, though, instead of the gimmick version. And the accessory of the golden dragon, I mean, it's cool to get again, but it did come in, 2 sets last summer? And his accessory comes with the transparent orange swords, which are a rarer part. They've only come in a few sets. So it doesn't seem like the worst promo ever, but not one that I'm personally super excited for. Maybe it will come with another bonus minifigure, though I doubt it. They usually don't do 2 of those in a row. Also, it's strange to see that there's no cover for the next magazine. Normally you could see what the next magazine looks like here, but yeah, that was just left out this time around. You only see the Kai minifigure. I wonder if there's been like a delay or something and they didn't have it ready in time. Huh, that's very curious. I think that's the first time I've seen that. And then at the very end right here, we have little landscapes you can cut out for your characters. This is a little bit of the spectral lands with Zarkt and Moro. And then this, I assume, is meant to be the first realm, and it's got Thunderfang, Drix, and Noct. There's also cutouts of Lord and Ras, which you could do, which I love so much, because I don't know about you guys, but I knew a lot of people when I was a kid who, when they didn't have a minifigure, they would print out a picture of it and play with the cutout. So they literally include that for kids to do here. You could cut out Ras and Lloyd to use them if you don't have their minifigures. That's incredibly silly, but I love it so much. Anyway, I think that's about all I have to show for the actual magazine. I'll talk about it a bit more at the end of the video. For now, let's take a look at the minifigures that it came with. Here are the Arin and Zane minifigures fully put together, and before we talk about the minifigures themselves, I want to touch on their accessories. Arin's accessory is great. It's a grappling hook. He uses that in the show, and surprisingly it's somewhat uncommon in the sets. In the first wave, he had like the molded grappling hook piece, which was pretty cool, but ever since then it's been kinda MIA, and as cool as that piece was, it wasn't the most accurate to how his grappling hook appeared in the show. This builds a lot closer to it, so I think it's great to get. It uses like the sci-fi blaster piece for the hilt, then a chain with a hook on the end, and there's a little trans-orange stud in the middle right there. I think that's awesome, and it fits Arin perfectly, even if it's not the most unique build in the world. And then Zane's bow I love. I've covered this already in the original magazine that he came in, but this is exactly what I want to see from these magazines. This is the most ridiculous, oversized weapon ever, but it looks awesome. It uses like CCBS claw pieces to be the strings of the bow, then we got some trans blue in here to represent ice, and a little like harpoon piece to be the arrow. It is not practical at all for a minifigure to wield this, but it looks awesome, and that's all that matters. I would love to see more stuff just like this. With those removed though, here's a better look at just the minifigures, and I want to focus mostly on Arin because he's the minifigure that everybody's going to get if they get this magazine. Well, Zane is random. You could get this one, or you could get another one. But yeah, the Arin minifigure, overall, I like the design. This is just the worst version of this design. The dark Arin parts are great, though. I love the sort of like black scarf that he has running over his chest and the one black arm. And then the coolest part to me is probably this magenta dragon that's been like spray painted onto his torso. It looks so chaotic and evil. I love the little paint splotches around it. And the fact that it continues around the back, too, is super cool. Magenta's just such a fun color on top of that bright orange. It's a much more unique representation of a character turning evil than just doing the black, even though of course that black is here as well. The leg piece is a little more simple. There's a tassel that hangs down with an Ninjago letter A, which is Arin's symbol, and there is some regular orange detailing on top of the bright orange, just like Arin's Season 1 suit. But yeah, those two parts are fantastic. The hood piece is a little bit weird. I'm just not a fan of the color choice on it. He uses bright orange and gold, and I just feel like those colors are way too similar to each other. On a regular Arin minifigure, that would look fine because he's one of the ninja. He's a hero, right? They all use gold. But on specifically the dark Arin torso and legs, I wish they'd use some different colors. If they really wanted to include the gold, they should have replaced the bright orange part of the hood with black. But ideally, I think that part should stay bright orange, and the gold part should change to either black or magenta. Black would definitely be the simple, obvious answer, but magenta would look so darn cool. But unfortunately, it's gold instead, which works alright. It just doesn't really fit the rest of the ninja suit, in my opinion. And then face print is just the same Arin face print from Season 1. It's good and it fits him, but I really wish we had an angry face for Dark Arin, because it doesn't make sense when he's on this, arc where he's, unleashing his anger. He's just stuck smiling all the time. Luckily, it looks a lot better with the hood on, but yeah, with it off, I wish he had a different face print. Anyway, as mentioned at the beginning of this video, in terms of, accessibility, this guy does already come in 2 sets. It's a $20 set and a $50 set, so he's not too difficult to get. And the bigger thing is, this version of Arin does not appear in the show. It's the version with the full, black hood, which looks a lot better. So at least personally, I don't find the figure super exciting. I would have much preferred getting that other version. I think there's definitely better options for magazine promos. But then the bonus minifigure is always super cool to get, and I do really like Dragon's Rising Zane. He does the Zane color scheme absolutely perfectly in my opinion, where white is the main color because Zane's the ice ninja, but then we have a ton of the light blue on his torso and on his legs to really capture that element of ice, and then there's a tiny bit of light gray to add some detailing, but it's not overbearing, and it's mostly interacting with the blue parts of the suit, not the white parts of the suit. So the gray feels like an intentional part of the design. It doesn't feel boring like it does in some other Zane suits. The Dragon's Rising suits of course can hold 2 katanas at the back, and Zane does come with those in this poly bag. And then with those removed, you can see his full back torso print where he has the Source Dragon of Focus symbol with ice shards coming out of it, and one side of his face where he has the Dragon Power eyes. And there's a look at the front of his torso too, where with the armor removed, you can see his dark blue undershirt. Again, I think that's a part of this figure that looks amazing, even if it is covered up, as well as his front face print. So yeah, very nice figure to get as a bonus. Definitely helps recover some of the value of this magazine because Arin's not the most interesting. So now, overall, what are my thoughts on this magazine? The magazine itself, I honestly thought was pretty good. Both posters were fantastic, I found the comic very compelling, and I liked how the games were somewhat themed this time around. They actually fit in with the minifigure. The comic too also fit in with the minifigure. And there was a good bit of variety in the games for a magazine made for children. Minifigures definitely leave a little bit to be desired. This is easily one of our weakest magazine promos in a while, but it's also not the worst ever. So would I recommend that you guys pick it up? Honestly, I would say check out the bonus minifigures that you can get. If you find a copy of this magazine with a great bonus minifigure, then sure, it's worth it. You can get 2 minifigures for a relatively cheap price. But just thinking about the Arin, if you're not interested in the posters or anything, you can probably skip out on this one. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this magazine in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!